Hey guys, Tyrup here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Kholodny Ferma. Playing for today's morning. On the right we have Orangepest playing as OKW. In his loadout is Breakthrough, Firestorm, and Elite Armor. Face off against him we have Meg's Wet Feet, and I believe this is Cheese Tonkatsu, the Korean player, playing as US Forces and straight away locking in tactical support. It's the early wire off there. In terms of rankings, one player is like rank 18 and the other one's 19. I can't remember which is which, but yeah, very high ranking and even matchup today. So full wire off there for Cheese. And wiring off the gap too. And that's pretty much the recommended wiring off. Orangepest looking to get aggressive, getting these early sandbags down on the VP. Capping up the Sturm Pioneers and sending the folks into the center. Looks like they're going to meet the Rifleman here. He pulls back. Maybe he saw the flag being captured, so he pulls back. From that range, they're just outside of firing range, and also I imagine Orangepest heard the windows break in that building, so probably aware that a squad is nearby. He managed to sneak his way down here into the building. Rifleman also doing a sneaky maneuver, jumping into the church, but nice heavy cover position. And what is this? A early mortar for Cheese Tonkatsu. You don't see this too often. This early on can be hard to hold on to your territory with only 2 squads of infantry, especially in a 1v1. In a team game you might be able to get away with this a little bit more easily, but 1v1 it can be tough, and Orangepest leaves cover immediately before the shell even lands and starts to flank around, look for an angle to get some free shots on the mortar, but Rifleman making their way into the building. Head-to-head fight here, but Rifleman too low, going to end up losing that engagement. And could go down on retreat here. 2 squads into the retreat path. Orangepest. Well, what's he doing? Not focusing this Rifleman retreating. Big mistake there from Orangepest. Huge mistake, in fact. Probably could have got the wipe retreating down that negative cover road. Instead, focusing a lot of firepower onto the building. Should be able to force the squad out. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for the wipe there. I thought that was pretty much wrapped up. Very surprising there for Orangepest, but it does gain a lot of territory control and now starting to harass the resources. It's gone for the 3 folks into the 2-2-1 build with elite armor. Bit of a classic, I remember pioneering this build when Elite Armor got revamped all those years ago, but maybe Orangepest is going to go for a more popular route, which is with the mechanized. So the battle group. Ooh, bit of friendly fire there from the mortar. And our early ambulance from Cheese. Got a lot of low house squads. It's going to delay his light vehicle. But you know, in strategy, sometimes with tactical support can be double officer into the quad. Generally not that good against OKW, but if you're up against the 2-2-1, it could be a decent option. 2-2-1 in battle group especially, I'd say then the quad is a good option. But of course Orangepest has no idea what commander he's up against at this stage. No giveaways until 3 command points for this one. So 2-2-1 is reasonably lightly armoured. Ooh, good damage there on that retreating rifle squad. Until it gets the upgrade, the 2-2-3, which can only happen after the HQ is down, so looks like you can get that now. You have to be careful you're not exposing it to too much small arms fire until then. It looks like Orangepest not going for the upgun, or for the upgrade, which gives it more armor, more health. Maybe going for a flak half track, doubling down on the light vehicles, and there we go. It's going to be the option for Orangepest. No bazooka for Meg's weak feet, a little bit unusual. I would expect him to get a bazooka to counter this light vehicle pressure. You can see how much damage it takes just from those small arms. Orangepest in the driver's seat now with so much resource control. The early mortar not paying off for Cheese Tonkatsu.
Heavy machine gun team ready for orders.
I'm gonna back this up with a 50 cal now, so not going for the second officer into quad. The advantage of going for the second officer, you know, gives you another squad for a pretty cheap price. Used to be a lot stronger when officers were 200 manpower instead of 250, but still pretty good squad for 250 manpower. Gives you access to all the team weapons, and getting a commander does give you more command points, so speed your progress towards 3 CPs, gets the quad out a little bit earlier, because coming at 3 CPs is a little bit slow unless the fighting is just extremely fierce. Like at this stage you'd expect to see looks out, AEC, just I mean whatever you're facing would be out by now, so quad will be a little bit late sometimes if you don't go for their double officer tech. Did end up going for the 223 upgrade after his flak half track came out, which actually hasn't seen any combat so far. Flak half track not particularly good against units inside buildings or against 50 cals. Okay, next weak feet. Is going to go for the double officer. Okay, that's a bit surprising. Just a little bit slow in his build overall. Oh, big old blob for Orangepest in the south. Looks like Orangepest delaying his medics until he's got all his light vehicles out and upgraded. But with OKW it's not too big of an issue. You can put down those med crates, so that kind of delay doesn't really matter too much. He's trying around the corner, but get hit by that suppression. Have to abandon that assault. You want Orangepest coming around the south. Cheese should be aware, because you know Orangepest would have travelled through this capture circle here. And we've got the captain down here. No weapon upgrade on that either. Did end up getting the bazooka. But that's another advantage of going double officers. You get access to those weapon upgrades early on as well, without having to get weapon racks. And overall, that's one of the advantages of tactical support. By getting the M1919s, you don't need weapon racks. Sometimes you can get them like in the very late game if you want some bazookas, but generally is not necessary throughout the match. So, now a bit of aggression from Cheese Tonkatsu, charging onto Orangepest's cutoff. You can see, you know, going the double officers, getting these support weapons. He does have a lot of units on the battlefield right now. Army size is pretty close to even. Oh, bazooka misses the first shot. That is a tragedy. Just ends up retreating that squad so low, doesn't want to lose a whole bunch of manpower for no good reason. He is jumping into the building here. No M1919s yet. Cheese Tonkatsu. Oh no, he's got one on the captain. Generally, you know, when upgrading with weapons, you want to leave yourself with 1 or 2 anti-tank grenades worth of munitions, if possible, so don't just buy them all. And what is this? Orangepest going for a second flak half track? Is that a misclick?
Orders complete.
Maybe it's not. I mean, he's got the medics already. I don't know what else he could be building. He's gone for a second squad of Stern Pioneers as well. Very unusual. Oh boy. Attack ground. No, no attempt. But yeah, the captain really becomes a bit of a beast. You can get him with the bar and the M1919. Can output a lot of firepower. Super strong squad
Point is being overrun.
in the early game. Nice move here from Orangepest, drawing fire with this squad, allowing this one to close at the distance, get the incendiary grenade in. Machine gun has to exit the building. Jumps into the own old building house himself. Out and then back in. Fires died down, but the captain behind this heavy cover will win this fight quite handily. And now we've got some more squads joining the combat long range. T-gun, I'm not sure what that's up to. 223 in the north. And that was a lot of damage. Mortar out here. Doesn't have any squad in this building at the moment though, so Orangepest could push through the center. Catch those team weapons out of position a little bit. That is not doing that currently. Orangepest did get a Raketin. He's not up against a light vehicle. It's kind of a precaution you need to take. We're never going for a half-track style build, whichever faction. Because if, you know, if a Stuart came along, he would be powerless against it. Oh. Ooh, pops the smoke, but good attack rounds there. Lucky stuff at that range to land that shot. Did he cancel the second flak half track, or what happened to that? Okay, yeah, he cancelled the second flak half track. Good. I was like, did he build it and lose it already? I just didn't notice. That would be horrible shoutcasting, but not the case. Sturmies here, a little bit too strong for the lieutenant. The T-gun pulling back though, mission accomplished. Like the 223, looking to set up here, maybe get the enhanced fuel coming in. Does have the Shredder down, but not in a very defensive position. Or defending the territory. You often see it maybe here or down here to try cover these sectors, but he's put it very far back. So I suppose that is the true defensive position. Oh no, Orangepest. Oh, that was a lucky break. That squad's super low. But we might as well take a look at the KDs now. 34-28. I would say things are looking pretty good for Cheese Tonkatsu at the moment, having taken out that half track, and often the light vehicle phase is one of the trickiest, especially if you're up against Lux Puma with this commander. So the fact that he's gotten out of that stage is very promising. And then you can rely on the late game of the Calliope, just driving in close and getting those wipes. Very powerful late game. The recon plane is excellent, provides more sight than other recon planes, does cost a little bit more. But very good for your Jackson spotting long range. Just leads to a very, very powerful late game composition. And very sure against OKWs, late game those Vet 2 Obers will ruin your 1919 squads. So imagine that's what Orangepest is trying to get towards as quickly as possible now. Oh, MG out here. Even if he jumps into the building, the concussive grenade's probably enough damage such that he can't stay in there safely. Could lose his machine gun here. Concussive grenade in. Orangepest delaying the timing on the concussive grenade because of the setup time on the machine gun. He's going for the wipe. He gets it. A little bit clumsy there. Oh boy, and he didn't even jump into the building either. Orangepest takes control of that. Really good move there from Orangepest, but clumsy stuff. Should have just retreated once he saw those double stern pioneers closing in on his machine gun. It's greedy stuff, but really nice delay on the concussive grenade, taking full advantage of the machine gun setup time inside the building. It's going to instantly rebuild that. Grenade Grenade in. Oh, and just retreats there. Interesting. I suppose he does have a major coming down here to do some capping, so it's alright. Orangepest does have a tremendous amount of fuel coming in though, thanks to the resource boost from 223. I believe it doubles the income from whatever sector it's on.
Command level capabilities ready for deployment.
So it's got double fuel coming in from that fuel point. But even, you know, even if you just put it on a standard territory point, it's actually still like pretty good. So don't feel you're getting hamstrung if you don't put it on a high resource point. Wow, look at this, a fighting pit going up on the cutoff. Interesting.
Just got cut off.
I do see this quite often from Cheese Tonkatsu though. He tries to go for like slightly more static play. With OCR, I often see him building bunkers as well. Machine gun bunkers.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Okay, flak base reveals itself. Looks like he should be able to get the neutralize here. Oof. Big mortar shell. Orangepest wanted to complete capture, but he's playing it safe, just getting out of there. Captain gonna have to retreat here in the face of 2 Fox Rangers. Looks like Orangepest at some stage did pick up an extra Fox to bring his total up to 4 after starting with a 3 Fox 221 build. But he is at a crucial juncture. He's very close to his Panzer IV timing. Oh man, another mistake jumping into this building. Stern Pioneers onto the retreat path. Hiding behind the hedges here. Machine gun can't get the suppression in, and that's a squad down. Weapon dropped as well. Stern Pioneers coming around the corner. Machine gun, oh boy. Getting flanked. He's soft retreating, allowing his Sherman to come in here. And a second, oh, the fighting position actually got the suppression in there. Wow. Opportunities can't pick that up. STGs occupy their weapon slots. So he might be able to get, oh my god. The double M1919 squad, that's throwback to the old days. Meanwhile, Sherman going in deep, wanting to get the kill on the Stern Pioneers, unable to do so. Now taking some Raketen fire, trying to dodge the Faust. If he gets Fausted, he could get chased down and killed by the Panzer IV, so very important he gets out of there. And yeah, picks up it with the rifle, picks it up rather, with the rifleman. Man, that's some poor English. Orangepest, oh, should be running in here for the intercept with the Faust. But it kind of makes sense not to get it on the captain. He does have one Thompson, doesn't make him quite so good long range compared to a rifleman squad, so that is the optimal way to go. And yeah, Panzer IV coming in. That's one of the advantages generally of going for elite armor. If you keep your 223 alive, you can speed your way to a fast medium tank. But once again, you know, I think Orangepest is somewhat lucky that he didn't face against the quad this game. Okay, Raketen coming in here. Sherman pulling back. Need some repairs. Raketen also getting forced off there. Resets up onto the fuel point. I'm surprised we haven't seen a squad of Obers yet from Orangepest. As I see that, I feel like that's one of the real strengths fighting against the M1919 riflemen. Just try to get your Obers as quickly as possible, get them to vet 2 as quickly as possible, and then they shut down the M1919 rifles pretty hard. One thing you don't get with this commander is access to sandbags. If you've got sandbags, then the M1919 rifles a little bit more potent against the Obers, because you can fight from heavy cover more often, but this commander is hard to set up those scenarios unless you bring down tank traps, which is can be tricky to do, especially in the late game if you need to do a lot of minesweeping and the like. Orangepest getting aggressive here. M1919's just dishing it out long range. And a nice early retreat there from Orangepest, realizing the Sherman's coming up here. Doesn't want to lose his squad. Minimizing the risk of that with the early retreat. Getting a decent hit in there. For a little bit of a chase down, but not too far. Just wants one more shot. Gets one more model. Before heading up to the north now. He's taken a little bit of damage from the bazooka. Kitten heading up to the north as well. One model inside the capping circle there, but goes down. Up here could take engine damage from a grenade, but can't stick around for it. And M1 in a nice position. Sherman pulling back, switching rounds. AP ammo equipped. The Fox Trinity is flooding forwards, and Tonkatsu has to pull back. It's got two units in the south. Orangepest floating a lot of resources. As I said, I would have liked him to get a squad of overs. Even a machine gun would be a decent option. And there we go, it's going to be the overs. Okay, we've got some tank traps down in the middle. As I said, those are your options for cover with this commander. It's one thing I've actually quite liked about playing the mechanized commander as US forces. You get that dozer blade on the Sherman, and then you can build those mounds of dirt with it to fight from behind. BP's pretty close to dead even at this stage. Take a look at the KD as well. It's like Orangepest slightly ahead. And of course he did lose his flak half track. Oh, 50 cal setting up on the road. Oops, get behind the heavy cover, but squad could come in on the flank. In fact, doesn't even need to. He could just do it with pure firepower. That many M1919s. Can't muck around them. Whoa, okay. I was going to say, I wonder what Orangepest's next unit is going to be. It's going to be the Stern Tiger. This is a spicy pick. Probably just about never the recommended pick, but it's a spicy one, so I commend him for his play. Okay, Panzer IV coming in the center, but M1 is in position. In fact, that's his second M1. I didn't notice that. Orangepest has gone for the Panzer Commander upgrade, so causing the artillery on it, but good dodge. Gets out of there before it lands. Oh. Some total rocket coming in, but doesn't even get the kill. The machine gun up there. Oh, Raketen. Oh boy. Oh, rear armor hit. Sherman's in some big trouble. He drives forwards to try and avoid another Raketen shot, but a little bit too slow. I can't blame him. Only real error there was, oh, double AT guns on the rear of the P4. Only real error there was driving his Sherman around not on full health. And go down so easily. That's the case.
Sherman ready to go.
Okay, well, we do have a Calliope out and ready, so the fact that he doesn't have a Sherman doesn't matter too much. And in comes the recon plane. Another benefit of the recon... Oh, this is just a major recon class, but another benefit of the recon plane is they can spot those camouflage Raketens, and here we go. Opens up in the center. Getting in some big trouble, gets the wipe. Not super close range, but close enough. Also managed to clear the building, which can be a trouble sometimes if you go a little bit too close to the building. Another firing position going up to cover the northern VP, but Stern Tiger's heading up that direction. How much health do these firing pits have? I have no idea. Stern Tiger rocket does 560 damage, so maybe we'll get to find out indirectly. Stern Tiger though has got rule of the roost if he's nowhere near. Ooh! Double AT guns, which are in the center, take down the Panzer IV. Tried to blitz out,
One of our fighting positions is sustaining
but
fire.
couldn't do so. Looks like he activated the take aim on this one. In fact, on both of them to get the bonus range. Perhaps explaining why Orangepest was unable to get out of there. Major artillery coming down here. Zoom Tiger moving to the center. Incendiary grenade on to firing position, looking to take it out.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
VP's still very tight between these two, trading VPs across the map.
Scouts are taking one of our points. The enemy has destroyed an emplacement.
Promotion just came through.
Okay, very early retreat there. Interesting. Student Tiger looking for another target. Still only got one shot off and only got 2 kills with it, but it looks like he's going to line up on the mortar team. No. Just going to try hide behind the church and get a shot off when Tonkatsu tries to come into the middle, it looks like. Currently, you know, he's got control of the victory points, so the ball is in his court.
Send your orders.
Looks like a fresh Sherman. Let's try and regather some map control. Good shot there to open things up. Just pops the retreat.
Points are down to 300. Gun mounted.
VPs are draining quite quickly. Zoom Tiger, lining up the rocket. So is the Raketten. Stolen Raketten. In fact, 3 AT guns now. Basically, Tonkatsu at a supply limit here. Yeah, okay, that's not ideal. Zoom Tiger rocket clearing out the trees there.
Stick with me and you might just make it.
One of the other benefits of this commander, of course, is the emergency repairs. So Orangepest can just hit that button. Storm Tiger will be pretty much back up to full after that. So that's why you often don't really need double Storm Pioneers, despite, you know, perhaps having like 3 or 4 vehicles on the map. When using this commander, you can use those emergency repairs. Just gonna go for another Panzer IV. Up against 3 anti-tank guns. Might be ready to fire again. This time we've got the big recon plane coming in. Take a look at the amount of sight this gives once it activates. So having a look at that sight. Recon plane in this commander, very, very, very strong. Oh, Orangepest could get the retreat rocket in. He's going for it. Ooh, nicely timed. Gets the kill captain down. Good wipe there for Orangepest, he needed that. Calliope still not even facing the correct direction, which is a slight mistake here. So this would be a juicy Calliope barrage, but he's facing the wrong direction for it at the moment. It's around the side of the 50 caliber. Look at the M1919s rip through that low health squad. Calliope spinning around now. It's a commander upgrade once again for Orangepest. Fair choice. This thing about the OKW Panzer IV, it's got such good scatter, it doesn't really need the machine gun that much. Panzer Commander is a good option. Sometimes though, I will go for the machine gun over the Panzer Commander upgrade, especially if I'm against a lot of handheld anti-tank, bazookas, PTRSs and the like. Instead of anti-tank guns. Oh, grazing damage from the Sturm Tiger rocket. Caught him on the edge, still got the stun off. Orangepest going to capitalise, get a bit of free damage in on the Sherman after that. It's the Calliope targeting in the north, going after the Ogres. Orangepest dodges forward. nerves of steel, but here comes the Sherman. So he's gonna force these retreats. Oh, and a fresh fighting pit up there now as well, locking out Orangepest from the northern VP. What's he doing down here? He's retreating his Stern Pioneers. He's for repairs on his vehicles. Ooh, sneaky stuff there from Orangepest, getting another hit in, going for an attack ground, hoping to get the scatter shot off, activating the heat rounds as well. Maximum chance of penetration and damage. Oh, this is not too good for the folks. Running into the meat grinder here. And this is why there's M1919 riflemen so nice in the late game. The Volksgrenadiers have to close the distance on you rather than you constantly having to close the distance on them. A kind of bit of a role reversal. Just makes it so much easier to pick your engagements as US forces. On top of that, you can just move around the map. Oh, light AT mine went off there. If that Panzer IV had hit that, that might have been a dead Panzer IV. What are those overs doing? Oh, halfway to Vet 2. Just about at that magic number. We start to rip into the M1919 riflemen. But yeah, this is just a more defensive way to play as US forces. You let the Calliope do the heavy lifting. Oh, Storm Tiger! Ooh, good wipe through the trees there. Good stuff from Orangepest. Squad down. Sneaky stuff, you know, firing through the trees. He's been doing some good Storm Tiger rockets so far. Oh, and now 223 in some trouble. Sherman on the chase down. Oh, but he kind of spun around there, so he decides to pull back. Just get one more shot in. Panzer IV is nearby. I don't think you really want to be engaging the Panzer IV. It's got the heat rounds as a possibility as well. Main gun crit. Misses. Doesn't have too much munitions. Can't really afford the blitz and the heat. And Orangepest going for an attack round there rather than going for the chase down. Maybe worried about anti-tank guns. I'm not sure. But that might allow the Panzer... Oh no, Sherman spins around as it rounds the corner. Maybe he didn't order a retreat path this way. Maybe he ordered them back through the center, causing the spin around. T-gun getting decrewed there by the Storm Tiger, but it's currently getting blocked by the Sherman. Where are the other anti-tank guns? In the north. Okay, there's the M1 in the center. No heat rounds activated on that, but he does have the take aim going. There go the heat rounds. Storm Tiger in some trouble. Abandoned. Oh boy. Huge OKW blob in the center. Not getting suppressed. There comes some suppression. Where's the Calliope? Not quite ready to fire. Oh, good attack rounds through the trees with the M1. But the huge blob decrews the MG from the front. Calliope. Oh, once again facing the wrong direction. And this blob is just running a train. In comes the Calliope now. Long range barrage. I think that's a waste. And a fresh Storm Tiger called in. The other one abandoned, crawling away. So he's got the double Storm Tigers now. And that Calliope hit just about nothing. Storm Tiger lining up the shot. And yeah, Sherman with the damage engine, too slow to avoid it. And look at this, that was complete devastation for Cheese Tonkatsu. He lost just about everything right there. He can come out here, recrew a few of these team weapons. Lost this one, so he can rebuild somewhat, but man, he's in a bad way after that. And yeah, just should have, like, he's just been really bad about having his Calliope facing the right direction. He should have brought that one in for a close barrage. Probably could have got 2 wipes in return if he just driven it into close to minimum range. Missed opportunity. We'll see how this goes. Some hits on the Sturmtiger, but engine damage removed. Keep moving into the center, but have to retreat. Here comes the Sherman. Orangepest maybe looking for all double Sturmtiger. Sturmtiger lining up a rocket. Sherman running right on past it though. Faust coming in. Only one Faust. He doesn't have the munitions for another one. Second Sturmtiger kind of baiting here. Sherman going in deep. Risky stuff though. He switches over to AP ammo. Going to harass these Sturmtigers now. Sturmtiger lining up a rocket. But Sherman clears the area, so he cancels it. Yeah, these AAT guns still back at base. 50 cal out on negative cover. Decides to retreat it. Here comes the Calliope. Oh, but doesn't quite get the hits off. Once again, slightly too far away. Giving Orangepest a little bit more time to react. Both tanks here getting stunned though by that Sturmtiger shell. 3 coming forwards is a bit of a diversion. Orangepest doesn't really have like anything as anti-tank right now. Rebuilding that second Sturmtiger has left him a little bit lacking in that department, so this Sherman having a field day. And Orangepest just having to suffer. He's going to rebuild a rifle squad. Capping up the VPs. Orangepest does have a lead, but not an enormous one. There's still quite a lot of VPs considering we're close to 40 minutes into this game now.
Enemy forces have 300 points.
It's going to be a long one.
Rifle squad ready for action.
But yeah, he lost 223 there, so no more enhanced resources. Might be pulling back, just about ready to fire again though, nearly Vet 1 as well.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Kitten coming in for Orangepest. Did have an option to go for another Panzer IV here though. It's got the amount of fuel for it. Might be looking for a Panther instead though. This time.
We're all done over here.
Is still up against your AAT guns, and we have seen Orangepest lose his Panzer IVs to the AAT guns. It can be quite tricky using some regular health medium tank against AAT guns. Oh, Sherman coming around the corner, Overs have to retreat. Both players with their eyes on the victory points. Making plays for them. Sturmtiger's getting repaired up, just about ready for some more action on the battlefield. Yeah, those fighting positions locking out Orangepest from the north. Sherman a little bit, I always feel around this amount of health just so risky. Saw it backfire on him earlier.
We're losing a capture point.
Going for another Sherman here. Okay, this time a little bit closer range on the Calliope, and he gets the wipe. Oh, speaking of the wipes, Sturmtiger getting the kill on the 50 cal in response. Double Sherman will give Tonkatsu quite a lot of control against the infantry, but he won't have much firepower against these Sturmtigers. I know he's got the AAT guns, but you know, if they get forced back out of position, Sherman don't have the greatest penetration against Sturmtiger's frontal armor. And Orangepest going for a second Raketen here, so is he thinking about going for the King Tiger? That's the only real explanation I can think of, but I think you can only get the Sturmtiger or the King Tiger. I don't think you get both of them. So that could probably be reverted.
We just got ourselves a field promotion.
AT mine going off there, allowing the Rikitten to get a couple shots in, but Sturmtiger lining up the shot regardless. Double Faust connecting. Sherman with damage engine now unable to chase Sturmtiger down. Sturmtiger gets the rocket in and destroys the firing position, so I guess that answers the question. Has less than 560 health. Sherman coming in here, hoping to get the Sturmtiger, but we've got a Rikitten here in preparation for this by Orangepest. Oh boy, and Mortar team gets decrewed in the center by the Sturmtiger. Oh no, Sherman spinning around. If he takes a Faust here, oh, he could be dead. Oh, once again, some clumsy Sherman control from Cheese Tonkatsu costs him the Sherman, but I know how that feels. Sometimes you get caught up on a piling blocker like that and it just all goes south for you. One thing we haven't seen from Cheese Tonkatsu so far with the Sherman play is smoke. He hasn't really tried to use smoke to get himself out of those sticky situations. It's a hole in his game. Especially against a Rikitten, you know, slightly down the hill, it going for attack rounds would be quite unreliable, so this smoke would be really nice in that kind of scenario. Pushing through the center, Sturmtiger here. Just about ready to fire again at Vet 1. One is there, blinking off the armor. Double Rikitten's coming down the center. Sherman got to be careful. Rikitten setting up. M1 getting some hits in. Couple hits in fact. Sherman coming back in, a little bit risky. Calliope going after the Rikittens. Sherman one shot from death. Sturmtiger coming from the north. One Rikitten goes down, but so does the M1. Another one also getting away super low. Gonna try and get the recrew on it here with the rifleman. Second Sturmtiger coming in. Maybe hoping to get the kill on the AT gun, but let's pull back. This is kind of what I was talking about, going for those double Shermans. I know that you end up losing one, but it is a little bit powerless against the Sturmtigers. Just doesn't have the frontal firepower to take them down like he would if he had a Jackson. There again, might have lost the Jackson, so... Here we go, Orangepest cleaning up the AT gun with the Sturmtiger in that occasion. Get some nice hits in, and he's not deterred. He's going for another Sherman. Orangepest kind of struggling in the manpower aspect of the match right now, so struggling to field his own armor. It's just about at the point where he can get something, especially if he forgoes reinforcing a couple of his units. Park up in the middle, maybe some shots over the trees. Calliope semi-long range into the middle. Doesn't get the overs. I do advise you to use the Calliope as much like the Sturmtiger as possible. You know, drive it in close. It's harder to hear through the fog. Get those really close range type barrages off. Try and get those wipes. That's the real advantage of the Calliope. You know, it's got 400 health and decent armor, so it can take a couple hits. Safer to go for those close range barrages compared to other pieces of rocket artillery. We've got the double Shermans, and then we've got the recon plane up now. Sturmtiger's got to be careful. Rifleman narrowly avoid death there. Second, oh, Sherman's coming in here. Second Sturmtiger trying to force them to reposition. Oh, sorry. Sturmtiger lining up a shot. Grazing damage. And the stun, though, could be important. Here come the Rikittens from base. Putting up their shots, but Sherman's still on the run. It looks like he's going to lose one of these here. And here we go, finally get some smoke in. Thanks to the recon plane, spotting these Rakitans long range. Speaking of smoke, Ober's throwing smoke to try cover the Storm Tiger, but is not successful. And one Storm Tiger does end up going down. Hopefully he doesn't lose his Shermans here. Nope. Major artillery into the center. Minor waste of munitions. Maybe if he had controlled the point, it would be fine to stop the decap, but it's made too much. Oh, fresh fighting position in the north. Geez, Tonkatsu not giving up on that. And now rebuilding the captain here. Doesn't need another squad of infantry. But that was a nice scalp, picking off one of the Storm Tigers. Oh, this one's ready to fire though from that church position. Oh, he's dodging. He's dodging. He can see it. And he's dodging again. Keeps cancelling it. Here comes the Kholodny now. With a predictive barrage into the center. Might get a squad. Ooh, speaking of. Rifleman also getting away super low. Another fighting position going up here. Interesting.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Rovers have to retreat in the north. The Storm Tiger going to reload on the move and head up in that direction, try and knock out the fighting position again. But double Sherman's up there, so not going to happen. He's got the recon plane up as well, providing all the sights. Oh, there we go. Squad down to the double Sherman. And finally, Orangepest is going to get some armor. It's going to be the Panther, as I thought it might be. An option against the double Sherman. Orangepest a little bit light on infantry now, though, as well. After losing a few squads. Double Sherman on AP. Still enough to force away these squads. Doesn't have the machine gun upgrade on these, by the way, a little bit unusual. Oh, and there comes the Panther at just the right time. Now the Sherman's in trouble. Double Rakitans on the retreat. This time he's smoking off the Rakitans once again. Oh, but this one hits a mine. Both Shermans in jeopardy of going down here. Rakitans setting up, looking for the attack rounds through the smoke. One Sherman down. About to be a second, and comes the Kholodny on top of the Rakitans. Can he decrew both of these? Gets one of them. He's going to go for the steal. Just to cancel that Kholodny so it doesn't do the friendly fire. Could have got a snare in here as well. He had the munitions for it. But what a big throw there. Too aggressive with his double Shermans. And the mine coming in clutch there. Otherwise, probably one of the Sherman would have gotten away there. So now he's gone for Jackson to respond to the Panther. Fair choice, but he is going to be struggling in the anti-infantry department now. Got the Vet 3 Obers to face against. He doesn't have his 50 cals anymore. Looks like the Storm Tiger took care of the fighting position in the north. So, Tonkatsu on the back foot, but he does have double Rakitans. So let's see what he can get done with them. Orangepest going in for the next fighting pit. There we go, double Rakitans connecting on the rear. Here comes the Jackson. Oh boy, Storm Tiger in trouble. Panther, is it going to come back to save the day? Doesn't look like it. Leaving his friend out to fend for himself. Going to come around the other side. Jackson still on the chase down. Panther coming in now from the north. He activates the heat shells. Jackson pulling back. Jackson needs one more shot to kill the Storm Tiger. Rakitans coming through the center. Panther. Oh, main gun crits. Causing the tank commander artillery, forcing back the anti-tank guns. Jackson gonna stay aggressive. Look for the kill on the Panther. Panther blitzing away. One more shot will kill it. But if he goes in any further, ooh, he misses the killing blow. He would lose his Jackson to the Schwer, so he has to pull back. What a lucky break. Probably both ways, honestly, but probably more for Orangepest. Not losing his tanks there. There's a super long-range Calliope. Where's that going? It's targeting these Stern Pioneers in the south. Ooh! Almost takes them down. Orangepest doesn't want to retreat through the center, so he's heading to the south to avoid getting minced up by this blob. Orangepest has been harassing the resources with the Obers in the north. Currently in control of 2 of the VPs, and Tonkatsu is behind in the victory point game. He's going to send out his Raketans to do some capping while both of the tanks are off the field. Not a bad idea. Stern Pioneers out here repairing. Looks like Orangepest trying to conserve his munitions.
Heavy machine gun team, ready for orders. Sherman ready to
Might
go.
be just about at Vet 2. That's when it gets the second cooldown bonus. That's when it can get really nasty. Double rifle from here. Oh, big grenade, but good dodge. And now these Obers could even go down on retreat potentially. For a bit of body blocking maybe. Doesn't look like it. Thought maybe he'd keep the captain around and try to go for the wipe there, but playing conservatively. Calliope up here in the north, just about ready to fire. Orangepest, got to be careful. Jackson heading straight down the center. Not sure what he's hoping for. And could hit a mine again. That would be very bad. So he's going to go to the center, but once again, using a reasonably long-range barrage, giving enough time to dodge. Sounds like he did hit a mine there, actually. Majority in the north. Oh. Jackson connecting with Storm Tiger. Storm Tiger lining up a shot. Jackson continues on past the zone of danger, but the Panther's ready to fire again. So Jackson pulling back. Jackson misses its first shot. Oh boy, oh boy. Storm Tiger lining up a shot. Raketin needs to get out of there. Too late. Raketin gets a few hits in on the Storm Tiger from the center VP. But that actually means that there's no Raketin in the north, so the Jackson up there a little bit exposed. He wanted to stick around, complete the capture, but unable to do so. The double over is too scary. Man, what a crazy game, back and forth.
Reinforcements in. Crowds are taking
A
one
lot
of our
of
points.
close scrapes for both players.
Might just make it.
Get ready,
Now got a 50 cal in the north though, instead of a fighting position to try and cover the victory
Capture
point.
point is being overrun. Enemy infantry.
Oh boy. Okay, Obers made a charge through the middle, but he gets into the Jackson before the crew dies. Might be ready to fire again though.
Into the excitement.
See if he can get some damage done this time.
Line just got cut off. Replacements in. Back to full speed.
So take it back here, reloading.
Tank destroyer is ready for action.
That's double Jacksons now. That is a lot of armor. Orangepest hasn't gone for the steel on the Raketin, but is still available down here, which could make a difference. But, you know, it pops up the recon plane with the Jacksons outranging the Panther. This could go very well for Tonkatsu. And one thing you can do is just pop up the recon plane. They'll constantly be worried about your Calliope barrages coming down. Even if you're not intending to do a barrage, kind of forces your opponent to reposition, especially if they've got a lot of team weapons running around. Kind of like bluff that you're going to use your Calliope just by popping up a recon plane, and it's not like that doesn't benefit you at all. You know, you've got the sight, you can outposition your opponent still. A lot of benefits to using it, even if you're not really requiring it. Well, Jackson's coming down, but I don't think it's a good idea to chase the Panther into base. Looks like he decides the same. Oh boy, but a bit of a traffic jam here. Ooh, Sturm Tiger rocket grazes the rifleman. And it looks like the Jacksons are going to pull back after taking a little bit of damage. Again, that's something that recon plane could help. Provides sight of the Schwer, so you can target it max range. He destroys the decrewed rocket. Nice touch. Stop Orangepest from getting the regather on that. Orangepest going for another squad of Obers, though. He's going to have 3 squads of Obers. And that spells trouble. Cheese Tonkatsu. Calliope just about ready to fire again. I really hope we see him drive a little bit closer for some of these barrages. I think the minimum range on this is 40, so same range as a regular tank can fire. So you can drive it in pretty close and still get the barrage off. And it's one thing I've been finding post-patch is that maybe, you know, this Calliope strat not as good against Osseer. Now the Grenadiers have the received damage bonus, they are much harder to wipe with veterancy. Maybe the strategy is better against OKW. Ooh, Calliope almost catches the overs there. Double Jackson's chasing down the Panther. Getting to retreat. Panther getting low. Once again, this is a spot where the recon planes could help. Here comes the Sturm Tiger. 75 VPs left and is currently capping. Double Jackson's going after the tech structure, so no more tanks for Orangepest. Yes, he loses Sturm Tiger. We could call in a KT. Can you do that these days after patch changes? I don't even know. haven't been in that situation myself. Okay, here we go. Recon planes up. Double Jackson's a little bit low. Panther at full health. Could clean them up here. He pops the heat shells. Double Jackson's in a little bit of trouble. This is one thing we have seen from Cheese Tonkatsu throughout the match. A little bit lax about repairing up his tanks. There we go. Rakitten from the center. Getting some shots in on the Panther. Enough to deter it from going for a chase. And Calliope here, gonna go for a close range barrage. But was in some trouble. Get out of there. Close call though. Sturm Tiger in the north. So are the Double Jacksons, but risky trying to engage the Sturm Tiger. If the Panther comes up here, he's in big trouble. Sturm Tiger hits a light AT mine, gets a engine critical there, temporary. Panther coming up now. Jackson's, oh, he will see Panther coming up from the recon plane. Oh, Sturm Tiger gets the stun in. One of the Jacksons in trouble. Gonna go down to the Panther here. It misses? No, but it doesn't miss. Jackson down. It was greedy, you know, using his tanks on low health once again to try and knock out the Sturm Tiger, and doesn't end up going well for him. But the drain is on Orangepest. He does have a little bit more to work with. 133 to 69. Nice. Cheese Tonkatsu. He's going to go for another Jackson. But this Panther is starting to vet up nicely. Going to hit vet 3 shortly. And it starts to become a bit of a beast. Gets that reload speed bonus. And speed bonus as well. Okay, looks like he's sending the Calliope to the south to try and take care of the Obers down there. You got to be careful somewhat against elite armor because heat shells can two-shot the Calliope. Now for the south. So he doesn't drive in too close. He doesn't have any sight. Scatter a little bit unfavorable there. Lucky for Orangepest because he's late to retreat. Just get away. Didn't even drop a model, just a lot of health. Recon plane up again, and here we go. Double Jackson's pouncing on the Panther. Looks like he's not going in though. Going in for the chase. Kitten in the north. That was his moment to get the kill. Now he's realizing it. Now he's going in. A little bit late. And Rakitten coming down. Kitten coming down. Connects once. Jackson one shot from death. Jackson's coming around the corner looking for the kill. And down goes the Panther. Nicely done. And Kitten unable to secure the kill back the other way. The Orangepest applying the VP pressure now. Might be just about ready to fire again though. That's the benefits of being at Vet 2. Storm Tiger ready to go in the north as well. Oh, not fired a shot. I don't think he got any kills though. Double Jacksons need to pull back for repairs. Oh, Captain holds the line in the south. Tonkatsu going to wriggle control of the center. But he's going to be down to about 60 VPs. With still a little bit more to work with, but he has lost his tech truck, and I think the Storm Tiger locks you out of the King Tiger. I don't know if he's aware of that though. It kind of looks like he's going for the King Tiger. He's put down the mechanized truck. Probably could afford not to these days because the Storm Tiger did get nerfed since that change. Just to have like 5 further range, just do 640 damage instead of 560. Just overall, it used to be a lot better. Whatever. Oh boy. Oh, Captain gonna go down the south. Those Vet 5 squads mincing them up. Calliope going after the Rakitten in the center. Double Jackson surging forwards, going for the Storm Tiger, but that might be just what Orangepest wants. He connects with a huge Storm Tiger rocket. Storm Tiger trying to back away at Vet 4 now, but this might allow him to call in the King Tiger by losing the Storm Tiger here. And there it goes. Destroy the decrew with Kitten as well. That would be nice. Kitten is a fresh build as well. Probably no longer necessary. This is only up against Jackson's. And is Orangepest going to be able to get this done with infantry alone? Up against the double Jacksons, you know, they don't really threaten anything he has, and he's got these highly vetted squads. Oh boy. We jump back in those Jacksons. Ooh, gets back in there in the nick of time. Took a while for the 50 cal to suppress the Obers because of all this light cover. I think the Ober is going to get the kill here. Maybe not. Kitten going in for the kill on the fighting position though. Ooh, big mortar shot. Obers have to retreat. 1919 rifles in the north. Calliope into the center, trying to decrew the Rakitten. Has to retreat. Will he get the kill? Oh, nearly. One more rocket and he gets it. Decrewed. Could jump in with the Jacksons, get the kill on that now. Ooh, but a big wave of infantry in the north. Orangepest going to get that VP. 43 left. And a good choice here. He's going for the Sherman. Exactly what he needs against all of this infantry.
The capture point is being overrun.
Looks like he might just try use the Jacksons to go for some crushes maybe.
Tank support is here.
I'll send the mortar in to try and capture the center. Also a pretty reasonable idea. This Jackson might be able to get it done. I think it's got some speed. Well, it doesn't have any speed bonuses. So they're both pretty slow. He's going to jump out with the vehicle crew, it looks like, to get the capping off. That's how desperate he is. 29 VPs remaining. Here comes the Sherman. Upgrading with the machine gun, popping over to HE rounds. But a big wave of infantry through the center. McKinnon gets destroyed there, but the overs just decrewing the 50 cal frontally. Sherman heading down there now. Major gonna run interference, allow this Jackson to get the cap off. It's gone right down to the wire here. Houston cancelled. Throws out the smoke. I believe that smoke might be similar to US Forces smoke. You can't actually fire from inside of it with your tank. And that does provide enough time for Orangepest to get the cap off. 21 VPs remaining now. It's going to be able to get the neutralize here. And here comes the big boy, the King Tiger. It's not ideal against double Jacksons, but all he needs to do is drain off 18 VPs. He's got this game in the bag. But, you know, the recon plane can provide sight. Allow these Jacksons to make full use of their range advantage over the King Tiger. Kind of like using focus sight mode on the Su-85. Oh boy, but what's he doing here? He's driving in for a base inspection. And that is not going well. Takes some heavy damage on one of his Jackson's, the highly vetted one at that. Sherman coming around to clear out the south. He's charging down the center. And he needs the Sherman to combat these. Tiger not really mobilizing. Sternpire's heading to the north. Sherman clears out the south, but there's nothing down there to cap at the moment. And King Tiger is forgotten about maybe. Not doing anything with it at the moment. Here comes the Sherman into the center. Orangepest gets him neutralized and he's going for the cap in the north. Pressure is on. Jeez, Tonkatsu. There's a Majorati in desperation. Sherman going to head to the Sternpires in the north. Sending the Major to the south. He's got the passive sprint. Good idea. And the motor on 15 VPs remaining. Calliope into the north. Long range though. Orangepest right on the edge of the capping circle and retreats. Sherman though might be able to get the wipe. They're retreating. Sherman, ooh, a little bit slow on the chase down though. King Tiger heading up to the north. Yeah, I mean that was a pretty high chance of the Sherman getting the wipe there if he chased down slightly more effectively, but you know, this is a marathon match. You can often make those kind of mistakes in this state of fatigue.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Let's get around the side of the 50. Sherman switching over to AP ammo there, interesting. Empire's forcing the retreats in the south. Sherman just has to be on permanent anti-infantry duties. I'm not sure why he's even bothering with the AP ammo. The double Jacksons, he should be pretty well handled against the King Tiger wherever it shows up. Interesting to see Tonkatsu jumping out of his Jacksons to try and increase his manpower income a little bit, so we get a few more units on the field. Another smoke into the center, but Calliope ready to fire. He's backing away with it quite far though. Sherman stops the cap, but 11 VPs and he's draining off. 10 remaining now. Here comes the Calliope. This could be huge. Orangepest retreating early. Seven VPs.
Tank destroyer is ready for action.
third Jackson. Why? Why? Surely a second Sherman would be a much better choice. He's having trouble keeping the infantry off the VPs. Double Jacksons should be enough against the King Tiger alone. Why go for a third Jackson? Doesn't make any sense. Especially with the recon plane providing sight against the KT. Seems completely unnecessary to me. Looks like he's just going full disrespect, trying to kill the King Tiger here. So that'll be enough to seal the game for him. And here we go, he's just charging head on with all his armor after the King Tiger, activating the high velocity armor piercing rounds as well. Going for the kill on the KT, but Orangepest doesn't care. He's going in for the VPs. Pulling back with the Sherman first to try and stop all this infantry.
A medium tank was just lost.
Calliope just about ready to fire. Sherman pulling back, switching rounds. Jackson's heading to the north. Hoping to be able to get a cap off. Sherman coming back in. Orangepest getting the neutralize here. Calliope coming in. Ooh, Sternpire's taking some heavy damage. Oh, if these squads retreat, one squad down. Another squad super low. Dead. Calliope finally gets the job done. 2 squads down. He's running the mortar in to try and halt the cap. 5 VPs remaining. Oh, squad down. Orangepest is just losing everything here. Oh, he does lose everything. Or maybe not. Gets them neutralized. 4 VPs. Captain on the chase down. Hope is pulling back. Hope is, why isn't he just firing? Just hope and pray. Blinkorper. Oh, see if he's just firing that whole time, maybe he could have got job done, but he did. Oh my god, he did get the job done. Well, there you go. I thought all the VPs were neutralized at the moment, but I guess not. And there we go, Orangepest ends up winning the game. What a crazy match. What I really have to question is why Tonkatsu went for a third Jackson. Like, did you see how easily he took down the King Tiger? With 3 Jacksons and a Sherman, just completely unnecessary to go for another Jackson. Especially with the highly vetted Jacksons with the high velocity armor piercing rounds. Really need another Sherman to try and contest the VPs. And ends up not being able to get the job done. But overall, a very nice match. Also, a little bit of a shame to see him use the Calliope like too far away, just time and time again. So got such good wiping potential if you just drive it, you know, like 10, 15 range closer than what he was using it at for most of this match. But overall, a very entertaining game. Don't often see double Stern Tigers in a 1v1. So that is a good one. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.